Good morning. Sanitation looks different in this pandemic age. We'll introduce you to one company helping businesses stay clean.
So as things like restaurants, gyms, even hotels begin to reopen and welcome back their guests, a lot of them are having to look at cleaning in an entirely different way, right? They're having to do a lot more than just wipe things down maybe in between. So how do you make sure everything really is clean and sanitary up to the standards that we're hoping will prevent the spread of virus? Well, one business is stepping up to help out. Let's check in with Jamie this Wednesday morning for a look at a very unique service. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, this is a 40-year company here in the Valley that decided to pivot. They were already working on learning some new cleaning technologies when the pandemic happened. They said, we better speed this up. So I want to introduce you to Tom James. He's one of the vice presidents with Hospitality Bio Cleaners. 6 months ago, you were looking into sanitation and using kind of providing that kind of service. Then you realized they need it now.
We did. We were always trying to be ahead of the curve. In hospitality, you're anticipating the guest need. Sanitation is one of the most important, and always has been. So we were trying to learn about new protocols, standard operating procedures, technology, and when the pandemic hit, we realized that we didn't have time. We had to ramp up all of that. So again, that went to research, it went to associations, it went to partnerships with people like Clorox. We've talked about Arizona State University, the scientific field within Honeywell, and that really supercharged our efforts.
One of the first things that you do when you come into a business would be to do a little scrub. We did a little scrub on my phone to find out that I was out of range when it comes to what's clean. You were able to clean my phone during our break.
We did.
And we found that this went from what number to what number?
So if you remember, we started at 488. Mm-hmm. We went through a miniature version of what we do commercially. Yes. We used a wand UVC. So we did a germicidal irradiation. We killed all the microorganisms, mm-hmm. right? Then we used a Clorox product. We let it dwell or be wet for 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then we took a reading afterwards. And I'm not sure if you can pick up on this or not, but we went from 488 to 11. So roughly a 97% reduction in pathogens and microorganisms. So, and again, that was just on a very small scale.
Tell me about this light that's behind you and then this wand in front of you.
Absolutely. So this is all the fun toys we get to play with. So again, this is a Clorox product. This is a UVC GI tower. UVC technology has been around for decades. Again, it's used hospitals on a daily basis, clean rooms. They clean water, as a matter of fact, with this as well. The other item that we use is electrostatic technology. In short, you're taking a solution, whether it's a sanitizer or a disinfectant, you're powering it through this gun, through the wand. It's an electrode. It energizes the solution, causing it to go out and find things that are heavier than gravity, bond to them, and in some instances travel up to 6 inches, so it bonds and coats. And the efficacy or the effectiveness, if you will, between these two machines can be what they refer to as 6 log with certain viruses, which would be 99.99995.
So it works,
is
what you're telling me.
It's
you're also doing a really
proven.
Cool study with ASU as well to make sure this stuff works. Will you hand me the gun?
Absolutely.
Please? Because as we wrap up, do these things work on my coworkers? Because I know some dirty birds over there at 3TV and Arizona's Family. That's you guys. That's you.
Your colleagues, Jamie, that is for sure. That is great. So fascinating. Thank you very much for what they're doing and for showing us, Jamie.
Too much fun.
Here in the Valley, it was last week. The restaurants got the green light to get customers back in for dine-in service. Not without some strings attached, though.
By now, you're probably aware of some of the rules that they have been asked to follow, of course. So we're talking about increased sanitation services, the ability to maintain physical distancing, so meaning fewer guests allowed inside. Most are doing reservation only, limiting the spaces where crowds might gather while waiting, even asking some to wait in their cars until a table is ready. And of course, increasing the way that they clean. That's last part, probably the most important and probably will leave the biggest impression on any guest. One Valley business taking the initiative to help restaurants make sure that they are staying clean and preventing the spread of the virus. Here's Jamie now with how.
And so how clean is the air in here, in your home, in your car? Do you know? Well, I'm here at Chelsea's Kitchen and they are having some work done for sanitation purposes. I'm with Tom James. He is with Hospitality Bio Cleaners. In fact, they kind of pivoted during the pandemic to meet the need where people are searching for cleanliness. And tell me about this machine that's going right here, Tom.
Absolutely, thank you. So in the first segment, we did the luminometer. So we took a sample of a surface. We tried to figure out how many microorganisms were on the surface, right? It was your phone, as a matter of fact. In this particular case, we do a complete environmental disinfection, right? This is actually a air scrubber. This is a Science Air Management air scrubber. This has 3 chambers. It will filter air through charcoal or carbon. It'll go through a HEPA filter. It'll also go through UVC light. And the way that we actually make sure when we go into an environment and we're cleaning it, again, our proof, not promises, we use this. This is an IAQ. This is an internal air quality meter. And basically what we end up doing is we will find out how many particulates are in the air, we'll find out what size they are, and then we can find out how the machine is performing. So we can actually clean the air in a space like this in a little over an hour.
We're always thinking about surfaces, but tell me about how the air could impact
Sure.
our health.
I think that with this pandemic, we're so much more aware that viruses like COVID-19 are both airborne, hence the mask, as well as surface. So only paying attention to the surface is really only addressing half the environment. We really need to pay attention to the air as well, and that's why this is an important part of our 5-step process.
We're in a restaurant right now, but you can bring this procedure into people's homes, and I think people would be really interested to hear about that right now.
Absolutely. As you kind of listen to our name, Hospitality Bio Cleaners, you know, we really, our background, our passion has always been in hospitality, restaurants like this, hotels, things of that nature. But there really is a need for this in homes, condos, retirement communities, schools, cars, really any place, but certainly we can do a consumer's home, yes.
And that could start at about what price?
So we like to say things are very reasonable. So it's pennies on a square foot. You know, right now it's about $399 for a 2,500 square foot home.
Yeah, we want people to know. I know a lot of folks are really interested. They want to keep their homes safe and of course want to know what our local businesses and restaurants are doing as well.